Buba Marwa, retired, along with senior officials of the agency, commended the anti-drug body for the remarkable successes recorded so far under the current leadership. Other members of the foundation include its board chairman, Barrister Dele Oye, and Sister Agatha Chikelwe. The NDLEA boss thanked the team for identifying with the agency through the visit. He further assured them of the readiness of the NDLEA to collaborate with all well-meaning individuals and organizations to enable the agency with the drug war. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has arrested a businesswoman, Okefu Darlington Chisom, over her links with two Pakistanis, Asif Mohammed and Hussein Navi, arrested at the Lagos airport with 8 kilograms of cocaine concealed in a sound system while attempting to board a Qatar Airway flight to Lahore, Pakistan, via Doha on Saturday, 5th November. An automobile parts dealer, Omeje Oliver, also known as David Mark, who was arrested on Monday, 31st October in Enugu, where he fled to after abandoning his business since the 16th of April in connection with the seizure of 600 grams of heroin concealed inside soles of ladies' footwear going to Liberia, has been linked to another drug seizure. A further look at the agency's database reveals Omeje, who was involved in a case of 1.580 kilograms of meth that was seized from one Victor Nwobodo Friday, who was arrested at the MMIA during his aborted trip to Jakarta, Indonesia on February 6, 2018. Charges have been filed against the suspect at the Federal High Court, Lagos, in respect of the old seizure in addition to that of the recent one. Meanwhile, NDLEA operatives attached to the Sako import shed of the MMIA Lagos have intercepted another consignment of tramadol from Karachi, Pakistan. A total of 6 cartons comprising 497,900 tablets of Royal Trama King brand of tramadol 225 milligrams with a gross weight of 304.90 kilograms were recovered after a joint examination by stakeholders on Friday 11th November. Operatives in Ogun State in the early hours of Saturday 12th November raided a warehouse at Ogere area of Ikene local government area, where they seized 273 jumbo bags of cannabis sativa weighing 3,533 kilograms, 3.533 tons, from a couple, Mr. and Mrs. Jesu Tofumi Solomon. This came on the heels of the seizure of 176 kilograms of cannabis sativa at Ogere Trailer Park on Wednesday 9th November and the destruction of 15 hectares of cannabis plantation in Bangbam area of the state. In the same vein, operatives in Osun State have raided a cannabis plantation at Obada Sawmill, Owena Ijesha, in Oriade local government area, where they destroyed 1.2 hectares, recovered 2,823 kilograms of processed cannabis sativa, and arrested 13 suspects on Sunday, 6 November. In Ondo, operatives seized 78 kilograms of cannabis from a dealer, Beauty Godwin, at Ofosu along Benin-Ore Express Road, and another 264 kilograms from Abdul Rashid Mohammed and Abdul Rashid Haruna at Sanusi Camp 2 in Owo. While in River State, anti-narcotics officers of the agency arrested Damion Onoha during a raid at Elele Alimini community, where he was found with 1.6 kilograms of meth as well as monetary exhibits amounting to 650,700 naira. A joint operation with the military at Harbour Road, Port Harcourt City, also led to the arrest of Sandra David and seizure of different quantities of cocaine and heroin, as well as 2,055,750 naira cash exhibit from her home. In Edo State, operatives located and destroyed 10 clusters of cannabis sativa farms measuring 14 hectares at Igualo Forest, where 5 bags of processed cannabis cannabis sativa weighing 47.7 kilograms were recovered, while a raid at Obadan village led to the recovery of 11 bags of cannabis sativa seeds weighing 399 kilograms and 34 bags of processed substance weighing 431 kilograms, bringing the total weight to 830 kilograms. Two suspects, Enododia Sunday and Osayaba Paul, were arrested at the scene. While commending the officers and men of the MMIA, Ogun, Osun, Ondo, Rivers, and Edo commands of the agency for the successful operations in the past week, Chairman Chief Executive of the NDLEA, Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Marwa, retired, urged them and their counterparts across the country to intensify the heat on drug barons and cartels. Ogun State Governor Prince Dakpo Abiodun has stated that the collaborative efforts of his administration and operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA) Ogun State Command is not in vain, as it has resulted in a drastic reduction in crime rates and abuse of drugs in the state. Speaking at the NDLEA Ogun Command in Abeokuta during an official inspection of a landmark seizure of 278 jumbo bags of cannabis sativa weighing 3,533 kilograms and valued at 83.4 million naira, Governor Abiodun said his government was poised at ridding the state of illicit drugs. Represented by the Special Advisor on Security, AIG Olushola Suber, retired, Prince Abiodun assured officers and men of the NDLEA of the government's continued logistics support in the areas of intelligence gathering to explore various ways within the ambit of the law to address the challenges of drug abuse in the state.
The Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA), Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Marwa, retired, CON, OFR, has charged parents and other stakeholders to rise up to the challenge of ensuring that illicit substances are kept away from young Nigerians, warning that complacency is capable of compromising the bright future ahead of these young people and the young population on the whole. Marwa, who spoke at Sheraton Hotel, Lagos, venue of the Real News magazine's 10th anniversary lecture on Thursday, 17th November, said instead of benefiting from the advantages of the huge youth population in Nigeria, the reverse may be the case if relevant stakeholders fail to stand up and join ongoing efforts against the drug scourge. He said in response, the NDLEA has initiated some youth-focused measures to safeguard them against the pressures and temptations of going into drugs. Such measures, he said, include War Against Drug Abuse WADA campaign, a grassroots-oriented advocacy which we are using to diffuse anti-drug sentiment across the various strata of our society. NDLEA Twitter space, where drug issues are discussed by experts from within the country and around the world to an audience of young people. A 24/7 drug abuse call center with a toll-free helpline 0800 1020 3040, which allows drug users, their families and employers to seek treatment without compromising their identities or safety, as well as open-door treatment at 26 NDLEA treatment facilities across the country. Marwa said this has become necessary following the release of the 2018 National Drug Use and Health Survey. Speaking earlier at a debrief workshop on controlled delivery exercise of drug trafficking for law enforcement in Nigeria and Cote d'Ivoire, organized by the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime UNODC and ECOWAS Commission, General Marwa noted that the capacity building training has further increased efficiency in tackling the scourge of drug trafficking, which in recent years has become one of the most devastating threats to the human race. He commended the European Union, UNODC, and ECOWAS Commission for supporting the training workshop.
Yes, it's true. Drugs are a vice in our society, costing lives and huge economic losses. But the story is not the same because the game has changed. It's a red card for drugs in Nigeria. There is a new sheriff in town. Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Marwa is moving hard and fast with full speed and precision to rid the country of the drug scourge. Ndlea Today is a program that gives you a front seat in understanding the highs and lows, the laws of drug enforcement in the country. Join us every Monday from 5:30 to 6 p.m. on the network service of the NTA, Africa's largest TV network. Ndlea Today. Don't miss it.
It was another day of commendation for the chairman, chief executive of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Marwa, retired, when his people from Michika in Adamawa State chose to celebrate him along with 3 other sons of the community for the national honors bestowed on them recently by the federal government. The colorful ceremony put together at the International Conference Center, Abuja, was to show appreciation to the 4 sons of Michika for making the community proud through their contributions to national development. For General Marwa, the honor from his people is not just heartwarming, but will equally spur him to put in more effort, since there's still a lot more to be done in making the society a better place.
Wherever you find yourself, accomplish through the grace of God and through the fear of God, and try to reach out for the objectives of the place that you are placed in position. And as you said, this reward is an encouragement for us. We are grateful for it, and we'll continue to do even better.
For the organizers, staging such an event is not just celebrating the awardees, but to use them to encourage the younger generation to imbibe the culture of discipline, hard work, and selflessness that has taken the awardees thus far in their various fields of endeavor. "10 days after declaring him wanted, Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA) have arrested fleeing Lagos socialite and owner of Adika's Hotel, Alhaji Ademola Afolabi Kazeem, over offences bordering on exportation and trafficking of illicit drugs, as well as money laundering. The agency had on Tuesday, 10th November, declared the drug kingpin wanted following his failure to honor NDLEA invitation and an order granted by the Federal High Court in Lagos. The suspect was uncovered as the sponsor of some traffickers arrested by the Anti-Narcotics Agency in their recent attempt to export cocaine to Dubai, UAE, and other destinations outside Nigeria. The search for him, however, paid off on Tuesday, 10th November, when he was successfully taken into custody, where he is currently being interviewed. His lead was blown open after the arrest of one of his moles, Bolajoko Muyiwa Babalola, a Lagos BRT driver at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja, when he named Alhaji Ademola Kazeem alias Adekaz as the owner of the 900 grams of cocaine he ingested following Adeka's failure to honor the invitation sent to him. The agency approached the Federal High Court in Lagos with 3 prayers to attach and seal his identified properties, declare him wanted, and block his bank accounts, all of which were granted. The agency had further secured the permission of the Federal High Court sitting in Lagos to detain the drug lord for another 15 days. The court, presided over by Justice Daniel Usiago, on the 15th of November, extended the remand order while granting an ex parte motion filed and argued by the NDLEA lawyer, Mr. Abu Ibrahim. The need for carrying out detailed investigation even outside the shores of the country was reason for the prayers sought by the agency, as it becomes increasingly clear that the NDLEA is better poised to inflict maximum loss on all those involved in the drug business. You are advised to stay clear of the illicit drug trade, as the agency will ensure you lose everything that you invested in the drug business. As we always say, be warned. Kano State Command takes WADA Advocacy lecture to St. George Church, Bompai, Kano. Plateau State Command lectures students of Sunset and Unity Secondary School recourse on dangers of illicit drugs. Ekiti State Command takes WADA lecture to students of Methodist Girls High School in Faki, Ekiti, and Eyemofe Comprehensive High School in Ekiti. Idi-Roko Special Area Command takes WADA sensitization lecture to Idi-Roko Central Mosque. Kano State Command, in collaboration with League for the Special Protection Against Drug Abuse, LESPADA, and Community Initiative to Promote Peace, CIPP, embarks on WADA sensitization work across major parts of Kano.
Do you know that you become drug dependent when you need one or more drugs to function? Drug dependence, also known as substance dependence, is a biopsychological situation whereby an individual's functionality is dependent on the necessitated reconsumption of a psychoactive substance because of an adaptive state that has developed within the individual from psychoactive substance consumption, which results in the experience of withdrawal, which necessitates the reconsumption of the drug. Do you know drug dependence can be physical or psychological? With physical dependence, the person using the drug over a period of time will have developed an intense reliance on drugs, often to avoid difficult withdrawal symptoms. The person will often crave to use the drugs despite the damaging consequences to their physical, mental, and social well-being. Drug users can also experience psychological dependence in which they believe it is necessary to use drugs to function, sometimes just at social gatherings or all the time.
On the feedback segment today,
Pete Anderson asked, why is codeine addiction so strong that even when you say you won't do it again, you still find yourself doing it over and over again for a long time now and no help? Here's your answer. As an opiate, codeine can lull its users into a false sense of security, as many people do not consider it to be as powerful or as addictive as its opiate family members. Codeine runs a high risk of its users developing a tolerance and eventually a dependence on it. Many codeine users then begin to find themselves using it again after vowing not to do so, because they feel the drug will help them cope with all their physical pain and eventually their emotional pain as well. John Ashaolu from Ekiti State asks, I just watched your program on NTA Network. I noticed you don't have rehabilitation center in Ekiti State. Is this deliberate? Because there are young Nigerians here who need help. Here is your answer. Dear John, rest assured that we're working on the points you raised by establishing more rehabilitation centers across the country. We'll soon make available a list of more centers, including 1 or 2 around your area. And that's how far we can go today on this episode of the program. I'll be glad to see you again next week for another insightful episode of your program, Ndlea Today. Until then, it's bye for now.